What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Pitchside, where we discuss everything football related. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Pitchside official store. We got a bunch of cool football accessories or soccer accessories, whatever you like to call the sport. And if you are really in love with the sport, check out the store. I'm sure there's something out there you can find for yourself, like this Pitchside case. Oh my God, look how good it came out. Once again, thank you guys so much for supporting the official store. Thank you guys for all your love. I also got this. Hold on. This Pitchside official Unabomber jacket. It might not look good in the lighting, but yo, it came out really good as well. So make sure you check out the store, because I'm sure there's something out there that you're gonna love for yourself. Today we are reacting to a channel called The Athletic Interest, and in this video we're reacting to why Nike doesn't want Neymar. My theory is that Nike doesn't believe that they're getting their return on investment from Neymar anymore. Neymar arguably on his day is the best player in the world, but with so many unlucky injuries, we've barely seen him play a lot in the last couple of years. And I think Nike made the tough decision to part ways with him, because all that money that they're putting and pumping into Neymar, they can allocate it elsewhere and maybe bring about some future stars. It's kind of sad to see Nike and Neymar part ways. They've been together for so long. I think they signed Neymar when he was a teenager, like 14 or 15 years old, and his face was everywhere right before the 2014 World Cup. And I remember when his Venom boots first dropped. I remember I got them. Actually, I might still have them. Hold on one second. I found them. Look, they look a little bit beat up, but only real OGs still have these Venom boots. These were some of my favorite boots, actually, back in my playing days. But like I said, it's sad to see Nike and Neymar part ways. But let's see what The Athletic Interest has to say about it.
In September 2020, Neymar shook the football world by announcing to leave his longtime sponsor Nike to join Puma. After 15 years of working with Nike,
Puma has been signing some stars lately.
Nike had signed Neymar already at age 30 when he was still a child.
Only 13 years old, damn.
Key players of the brand, had his own signature line, and was the face of many marketing campaigns.
What was I doing at 13?
The honor to become the first football player to feature the Jordan logo on his boots.
Crazy link up.
The company that had believed and invested in him for so long sparked quite a debate in the football community. Why did he leave Nike, and why would Nike let him go? That debate was fueled when more high-profile Nike players were leaving the brand or were seen in competitors' boots. Raheem, Sergio Ramos, and even the FIFA Player of the Year, Robert Lewandowski. Why are all those players leaving Nike?
I actually had no idea that all these players were leaving Nike. Maybe Nike isn't putting enough money into football or soccer anymore. I don't know. I really don't know.
Biggest sportswear company in the world no longer able to hold on to the best players? Or is it all part of a bigger plan? Before talking about individual players, let's have a look at the bigger picture. Sports brands like Adidas and Nike pay professional players to wear their boots. So they are seen by millions of consumers on TV who then want to buy and wear their favorite players' boots. The 5 European leagues,
great marketing strategy.
Spain, Italy, Germany, and France are the most relevant in terms of viewership and performance. Therefore, they are also the most important in terms of marketing. And their players' feet are the most valuable billboards for brands. In 2021, Nike has by far the biggest share of players in the Big 5 leagues. More than every second player is playing in Nike boots, followed by Adidas and Puma. But it wasn't always like that.
I'm really surprised that players are going to Puma. Like, it doesn't look like a lot of players are. They said 7% of players are being sponsored by Puma. So I don't think Puma would have a lot of money to allocate to these players, but I don't know, maybe Puma's doing their thing.
Adidas and Puma used to dominate the football market. Nike, historically a running company, was late to the party. After their founding, Nike first focused on the American market, where football, or soccer as it's called in the US, was less relevant than, for instance, basketball.
I had no idea Puma used to dominate the market.
There was no getting around football any longer. In the early 90s, Nike made a strong push to the football business, making endorsement deals with famous players such as Romario, Eric Cantona, or Edgar Davids. The first big win in the battle for the best players was...
I wonder how Nike felt when Eric Cantona jumped into the crowd and just completely kicked a fan into the chest. I wonder if he lost his sponsorship after that.
Was when Nike signed the Brazilian Brazilian national team in '96 that went on to win the World Cup 6 years later.
Oh, they signed the whole team? That's crazy.
By signing more top players. But still, Nike was lagging behind Adidas, who had their roots in football and a much superior network to clubs and officials. Especially in strong Adidas countries like France or Germany, Nike was having a hard time to sign the best players. Look at Germany, for instance. The first real high-profile player that Nike had in Germany was Miroslav Klose. Ballack, Kahn, Schweinsteiger, Lahm, Müller, Neuer, all Adidas players. So we can guess that Nike...
Yo, I had no idea Adidas used to dominate Nike like this in the football world. Wow, that's crazy. I wonder how Nike was able to just, bring over some players and just start to dominate the sport.
He took a lot of money and invested heavily wherever they could, not only in quality but quantity. The 53% of Nike players that we can see today are most likely the result of a strategy that focused not only on signing the best, but the most players. The idea was probably that if half the league is wearing Nike, the swoosh will be visible all the time on TV. So Nike would be established as an authentic football brand. The strategy worked and made them the market leader in football. Many of the sport's biggest stars today are Nike players. Most prominent.
That's a crazy strategy. That's a bold strategy.
And Ronaldo's successor at Nike was thought to be Neymar.
The
so
GOAT.
Why did Nike let him go?
What if you could control the web with your mind? What if telekinesis?
It's kind of crazy how Neymar did have that huge expectation when he came to Europe. Nike believed that he was going to be the player to replace Ronaldo. But like when he first came to Europe, everyone thought he was going to be the next guy after Messi and Ronaldo. Those are tough shoes or boots to fill when you really sit down and think about it.
The simple answer is probably money. Neymar wanted more than Nike was willing to pay. Another reason might be that he didn't want to be number 2 behind Ronaldo anymore. As his move from Barcelona to Paris suggested, Neymar does not like to play in the shadow of anyone.
Oh man, Neymar is so unlucky, man. At Barcelona, he was in the shadow of Lionel Messi, and at Nike, he's in the shadow of Cristiano Ronaldo. He just can't find a way to escape those two. He had the expectations of, replacing those two, but sponsorship and team-wise, he just can't escape their shadows. Man, I mean, that's tough. That's tough on Neymar's shoulders.
At Puma, he knew that he could be the main man. And with Messi at Adidas and Ronaldo at Nike, Puma was probably glad to spend the money for Neymar to join the club of superstar sponsors. Nike probably looked at the financial implications, combined with the fact that Neymar is not getting any younger, and made their decision. The fact that they let him go early, although he still had a contract running until 2022, shows that Nike did not fight very hard to keep him.
Wow.
Rather saved some money. Raheem Sterling is a more telling case. He is younger than Neymar and just coming into his prime. He is also very marketable and has been leveraged by Nike in marketing campaigns and as a spokesperson regarding social topics, for example when speaking out against racism. But despite reports that he would sign a new deal with Nike in the beginning, it now looks like he will move to New Balance, as he has been spotted wearing their boots in training.
That's a bold move as well.
Might have some spare money left after ending their deal with Liverpool, and apparently Nike is not ready to pay Sterling what New Balance is offering. One reason might be that Nike already has a similar player that is also a political spokesperson, So maybe they would have liked to keep Sterling, but are also sharpening their strategy and rather invest.
That's kind of smart by Nike, understanding that, maybe we don't have the money to pay these athletes, but we can find that same player. Okay, so it looks like, these players demand a lot of money, which is completely understandable when you consider the amount of people that they're bringing into the sport or bringing to your company. But it looks like Nike sometimes isn't willing to pay you as you get older. But it looks like Nike isn't willing to pay you. Okay, so it looks like Neymar and Sterling were requesting a lot of money that Nike did not want to, dish out. And looks like they were willing to let them go, knowing that they can allocate that same money into younger players. So I can see why Nike would let Sterling go, knowing that they have a similar spokesperson in Marcus Rashford. He's younger, so he has yet to hit his prime. So they can make a lot more money in Rashford right now if he continues to perform well and as he enters his prime. It's kind of smart by Nike. You know, it's a cruel game, but it's smart by Nike.
It seems that Nike has become very careful how to spend their money in football and is no longer using their budget like a watering can to sign every player out there. That is underlined as well by the Robert Lewandowski case. Although he won the FIFA Player of the Year award for his outstanding 2020 season, Nike
deserved the Ballon d'Or as well.
Hesitating to continue their relationship. He hasn't actually been confirmed as having left Nike yet, but has been seen training in blacked out.
I wonder if it's because he's in his 30s now.
He is considering to leave Nike as well. Neymar, Sterling, Lewandowski. Add Ramos and more players to the list, and it becomes clear that we are looking at more than just isolated individual cases. But what's the reason for that extensive shift of players? The COVID-19 pandemic will most likely have an impact. The sportswear industry is hit hard, especially with major events being postponed.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to be the Euros, the Copa America.
So the brands need to streamline their budgets and save money wherever possible. But the pandemic is probably only the accelerator and not the cause for the change. That becomes clear when looking at who Nike is actually still signing and betting their money on. For example, Erling Haaland. He was one of the players promoting the Nike Dream Speed boots recently.
Very young player who is yet to hit his prime.
So while Nike seems to be okay to let Robert Lewandowski, currently the best striker in the world, move on, they are keen to keep Haaland, who might become...
You replace old with young. Nike smart.
Even more important for Nike is of course the role of Kylian Mbappé. It seems that the brand wants him to step into Ronaldo's footsteps, which might have been one of the reasons.
If we're being completely realistic, Mbappe does have a better chance in replacing Ronaldo as a Nike head figure in terms of football. You know, he's already a World Cup winner, and at such a young age, he is putting in great performances, and he has yet to hit his prime. So I can see why maybe Nike were not, fighting as hard to get, keep Neymar, but maybe allocate that money into Erling Haaland and Mbappe, especially Mbappe, who I think will be the head figure for Nike. Maybe in 5 years.
Reasons to let Neymar go. And Nike also has a great substitute for Raheem Sterling. We already mentioned Rashford, but lately Jadon Sancho was...
I forgot about Jadon Sancho.
At age 20, he was the youngest player to ever get his own signature line from Nike.
Oh, wow.
Haaland, Mbappé, Sancho. We can easily continue the list with Ansu Fati, Kai Havertz, or Frankie de Jong. Apparently, Nike is preparing for the future.
Makes a lot of sense.
Sponsorship contracts with clubs or players usually run several years and are therefore long-term investments for companies. Unlike digital or event marketing budgets, the sports marketing budget is planned for years ahead and cannot be shifted around or reduced quickly. It's all about foresight, predicting where the players will be over the course of the next 5 years. That also puts into perspective why Nike let established players move on. It's a strategic move rather than just financial pressure or broken relationships. Therefore,
makes a lot of sense. It's tough to see, but it makes a lot of sense. Money-wise.
The COVID-19 crisis just accelerated the execution of that strategy. If anyone knows how much Neymar and Lewandowski are really worth for a sportswear brand, it is Nike. They used the players for commercials for over a decade. Nike has all the sales data and insights to estimate their brand value. So they probably would have matched any competitor's offer for Neymar, but didn't think it's worth it.
Wow. After being with him for so long, that's crazy. So it looks like Nike is performing this strategy where they're replacing old players with younger players, especially when the older players start to request for more money, which makes me think, if Nike was willing to pay Raheem Sterling and Neymar before they let them go hundreds of millions of dollars, then what were they really making off these players? It's kind of crazy when you put it into perspective. When you really think about it, 5 to 10 years from now, players like Marcus Rashford, Erling Haaland, Mbappe, Ansu Fati will start to enter their primes, and players like Neymar, Sterling and Robert Lewandowski will definitely be further away from their primes. So it's a really smart business strategy to, weed out the old and, cycle in the new, and then, continuously do that and make more money. So even though it's a cruel game, I completely understand Nike's business strategy. I honestly thought that they just didn't think that they were getting a return on investment from Neymar, but it looks like Neymar also believes that he can be a main man, a main sports figure for a company right now, and he definitely deserves it, especially with the amount of money that he can bring in. Neymar is a walking market. He will generate you millions of dollars no matter what. But anyways, that was a pretty cool video. Make sure to check out the Athletic Interest channel. If you like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Until next time, peace!